What's up, y'all? Hi. I hope everyone is feeling, whatever you're feeling. I hope you feel it, whatever you're feeling, and that you're letting yourself feel whatever it is that you need to feel. I wanted to get on here today because I think, I wanted to give people the chance to be in their joy. I wanted to let us celebrate, celebrate what it means to organize, right? Because that's really what it is. I think at the end of the day is that folks are celebrating what it means to have organized in such an exceptional way that we, could bring about a particular outcome, a particular outcome that folks desired. But I already see the thing that I was most afraid of. And so, I'm here to, it's time to sober us, and yeah. And I feel like it's important because there is such a deep desire, and I understand it, to want to return to something that feels familiar. And I just want us to remember that, that familiarity, came at a cost, a very steep cost to many, many, many people's lives. And that familiarity equals death for a lot of people. And so we can't choose familiarity and choose justice. Because what's been familiar was never just. What's been familiar has always been inequitable, inhospitable, and murderous. That's what's been familiar. And so I'm really asking us to not go back to familiarity. And I'm really asking us to be with the notion that, like right now, pundits are telling folks that we need to unity. And I'm not interested in unifying with white supremacist delusion. Just so we're clear. I'm not interested in unifying with white supremacist delusion. I'm not interested in making nice with the structures and systems that would like to see me dead. And I would advise none of you, no one, to collude with such a system or to collude with individuals who are committed to said system. And so the work right now is to resist the narrative that somehow this election and its results are here to just make us one big happy country again. It is the most simple way to return us to a system that is deadly for millions of Black, brown, and indigenous people in this nation. Like, deadly. And so, no. So no, it is not. And that there is a desire to somehow disconnect. And I heard Eddie Glaude Sr. on Democracy Now! Speak to this, and I want to reiterate it, right? Is that there is no way to disaggregate the last 4 years under the Trump presidency from Republican policies and positions. The Republican Party is the party that represents white supremacist initiatives out front. The other party, the Democrats, are the neoliberal party that represent quiet white supremacy. The just be nice and tell Black people to stop looting kind of racism, right? So to that I say, neither of these parties are on the side of justice. Neither of these parties are on the side of creating the new world. Both of these parties are interested, and like I've said this before, interested in what does it look like to go back. The question just is how far back. But everything that is backwards only brings us back to the point we've already been. Everything that involves going backwards means that we will come back to exactly where we are now. And so I'm really just encouraging us as we move forward. This is not over. It's not over by a long shot. And I think that is necessary to know, right? Like right now, unfortunately, at least for the next, 2 months, we're fighting two things. We're fighting the cult of amnesia that is white supremacy, right? White supremacist delusion relies on amnesia in order to survive. It's got to forget what it does, what it creates, who it's harmed in order to continue to perpetuate itself, right? And so right now we are fighting the cult of white supremacist delusion in the form of, all these unrealistic hopes wrapped inside of this new president-elect. And then on top of that, we are fighting, hyperbolic, unapologetic white supremacist delusion in its personified magnification inside of Trump and those who are in allegiance to him, who will not just disappear, who do not just vanish into thin air, right? And so be mindful and be intentional and get involved. Find the organizations that are building the new world that you're interested in living in and add your labor to them, right? Because we ain't done. And right now, unfortunately, for those of us who are interested in creating a just and equitable and compassionate world, free of inequity and injustice, right now, the battle is on both sides. Right now, we actually have to fight two enemies at the same time. The enemy of apathy, the enemy of neoliberal white supremacist amnesia, and the enemy of, virulent, unapologetic, white supremacist hyperbole. Both of them. So, it's time to get to work. I hope you enjoyed your rest. I hope you have fun in your celebrations. And then lastly, actually, nope, I'm not going to say lastly. It's a different video. I have a video just for white people that's coming out that I'll do later on today. But in the meantime, in between time, it's time to get to work.